what was Justin's reaction to it? The same as my reaction to it, which is, it's not fair. It's not right. And the reality is that someone should have a chance to be able to be held accountable. And you should be able to hold media accountable for the truth and veracity or the lack of it of what they show. I think that he's a person who wants to be vindicated. And that's all that he cares about is that he knows who he is. He knows what he's done. He knows what he hasn't done. And he wants the truth to come out. And he wants to do that in the appropriate way. He's not walking around taking victory laps and victory tours and speaking out. He's taking care of his family and taking care of his loved ones. And he's waiting for his day in court where he can speak out and tell the truth.
A lot of people thought that maybe this whole thing was coming to a close. Clearly it is not. Bryan, I'm sure we'll be talking to you as this moves forward. Thank you for being with us.
It is so far from over. Let's just put it that way. So far.
To dismiss the biggest one being the defamation claim.
Well, we weren't pleased that the judge dismissed the defamation claim, but it didn't, overall, it's not what the case is about. I mean, let's remember where we got started here. We got started because Blake Lively filed a CRD complaint and then, walked over and filed a lawsuit which, accused some very good people of a smear campaign and accused, a terrific young man of sexual harassment, both of which were completely untrue. And that's where the case got started. It's where the case stands today. Those claims that she brought exist. That's where we want our win. From day one, where we wanted our win, in addition to getting damages, but where we wanted our win is to show there was no smear campaign and there's no sexual harassment. And she hasn't proved a thing. As a matter of fact, it's just the opposite. Look at the facts. Look at what's been shown. Look at the receipts. Look at the video.
What's next for you?
I mean, next for us is I'm really hoping that she doesn't drop her lawsuit.
Well, why would she?
Because she's on a false victory tour, and she's afraid of the truth. And the truth is, going to be shown through depositions, which is what's going to be next. I've noticed her deposition. It's set in June. We're going to see if she's going to appear at that deposition or not. And we're going to proceed forward with the case. And we're going to show that there was no sexual harassment. And we're going to show that there was no smear campaign.
Obviously, the defamation was dismissed with prejudice, so you can't refile that. But do you plan to refile any of the other? I think there are 3 other claims that you could refile, correct?
There's actually 4, and the judge was very specific about them. Intentional interference with contract against Blake and Ryan, intentional interference with prospective economic advantage, that exists still, and that's against Blake and Ryan. Negligent interference with prospective economic advantage, that's against Blake and Ryan, and breach of the implied duty of covenant of good faith and fair dealing. And those are, that's against Blake. And those claims still exist. The judge just wants us to replead them and gave us a roadmap on how to do that.
Well, will you do that?
Of course we'll do that. I mean, for sure. And, as part of doing that also, we're also going to fight her claims, which have existed since the beginning here. And there's been absolutely no indication of any kind that she's prevailing on her claims. As a matter of fact, just the opposite.
You mentioned in June her deposition. What's your strategy for that? What's the key question you want to get her under oath on?
State your name. I want to see if she shows up.
And once she does, what do you do after that?
I'm going to ask her questions under penalty of perjury, and she's going to have to provide evidence, and she's going to have to provide the truth of the stories. And we have all the videotape. We have all the footage. We have, the text messages, and we have emails, and we're going to see how consistent her testimony is with the actual facts of what transpired.
So it sounds like what you are explicitly saying, you don't want everything to go away. You don't want to just say we're done with this. You want to have Justin's name cleared in court, and it's important for you for all this stuff to go forward.
It's not just important for me to have Justin's name cleared in court. It's important for me to have Tag and Jen Abel's names cleared in court. It's important for me to show the truth and to give the clients the real result that they're looking for, which essentially is what they were accused of, right? There was not sexual harassment here. She wasn't sexually harassed, and there's no smear campaign.
So I'm wondering what Justin's reaction was to the judge's decision.